Hello again YouTube, Mad Dog here, welcome back to my channel. Sorry for the wind, I'm up on a bit of a ridge at the moment. I'm in Staffordshire, a place called Gina. And whilst me and Mrs Mad Dog are away, I thought I'd head off into the woods. I'm going to try and gather a bit of fat wood, a bit of silver birch bark, and basically get some steps in because you know, I really need to work on my fitness, especially with hill work. And this is the ideal place to do it. It's very undulating, very up and down, and as you can see it's just starting to rain now, so quite wet and slippy and quite challenging underfoot in places. But yeah, we'll go for a little walk. I'll bring you a little ways with me, try and get out this wind, so stay tuned and enjoy the journey. Oh, so I've come up quite a steep incline, so I'm on the top of a bit of a cliff, right on the edge of a cliff here at the moment, and I'm now in a deep sort of thicket of pine coniferous woodland. So I'm obviously going to be looking for some fat wood, and I'm actually looking at some of the fungus on the floor. There's a massive variety this time of year, different fungus. Take some photographs, and then when I get back to base I can ID them and learn a bit more about fungus. That is one of my many weak points. But yeah, it's beautiful up here, quite windswept. I'm just in a little divot at the moment to try and break from the wind, so it's not too bad for you guys and lasses to listen to. But I'm going to go further along, and I believe later on there is a more, you know, broadleaf type of woodland. So we'll go and explore that as well, so stay with me and we'll have a good look round. Well, I certainly wouldn't want to sleep under this shelter. I think somebody may need a little bit more practice. I think all they've done there is create a pile of widow makers. No doubt it's kids, but as long as they've had some fun, eh? Okay, I've got another small downed pine here. The roots sound nice and hard, so let's see if we can find any fat wood in here. Got the old silky zoo back going in action here. Let's have a look. Oh, that's not no golden goodness in there. That's a bit disappointing. It just goes to show you got to try to know, you know. Not every time you strike gold, I'm afraid. Oh well, we'll carry on and try as look elsewhere. Back down onto the beaten path, out the pines, and we'll follow the pathway around. We're coming down the incline a little ways now. I'll try and get into the broadleaf. I'm actually after some silver birch bark, so I want some downed trees. Obviously we don't want to be damaging healthy trees, so let's see what we can find. Okay, I found a little stump, an old pine tree obviously sticking out of the ground, and I've gone ahead, got my Kershaw and just chopped into that, and as you can see, all that golden goodness, that's all fat wood. So whilst it may not look a lot, you know, on first impressions, always give it a feel. I'm just taking slivers off this and working my way down it. More golden goodness, all good fat wood. And because it's already a stump, it's already dead, we're not doing anything, any harm. Yeah, plenty of golden goodness coming off this. So I'm going to carry on, harvest a bit more, and then we'll move on a bit further. Okay, so I'm just up on the top of the ridge and I've come across this old pine tree that's obviously been blown over, and it's obviously then been cut to make it safe as it is close to the public footpath. But what I'm going to be doing is having a look at the root system because often a lot of these roots, especially if the tree has been damaged for a long time, they will contain high resin content, a lot of fat wood. And also on a footnote, uprooted trees, I've mentioned this before, on the ball system, the root system of any tree, when it's uprooted, you'll find lots and lots of pebbles that have been lifted. And in some cases, these will contain flint or chert or quartz. So if you're out and about looking for stones for your flint and steel kit, the uprooted ball root system of a tree is a great place to look. Whew. So, had to puff, had to come back quite another steep incline. Quite muddy, quite slippy, but we're up here. And as you can see behind me, hopefully there's quite a few dead standing silver birch. And let's bring you around here. There is some, where are we? Around there. There's some dead, fallen silver birch. So I'm going to pinch a bit of that bark. Like I say, I'm not going to be damaging any of the good trees, any dead that's already down. This place here, it's probably not picking up on my camera, but it almost feels Jurassic. There's a few dead vines, lots of ferns, and there's a bit of rhododendron, loads of bracken, obviously. But it just feels older than what it probably is, if that makes sense. I think it's probably the undulating ground. It's very up, very down, very muddy, and everything's wet. We had lashings of rain last night. I don't know, it's probably just me, but it's a fantastic place. I love it, really do. So I'm going to get set up now and get me a bit of silver birch bark. Always good for fire lighting, high in tannins, so it has all the uses as well. Obviously, if you're preparing, you know, pelts or furs. But yeah. Useful resource to have. Stay with me. It's cool off a bit. crack on. Okay, so we're down by the old birch, and somewhere in my bag of tricks here I've brought along my old faithful Mr. Dave Watts' bushcraft knife. Thank you again, brother, if you're watching. I still swear by it. Now, because I'm in a public area, I keep all my tools in my bag stowed away at all times, so there's nothing on show. I try and bring them out when there's nobody about. Use a bit of common sense. But because this tree is rotten, we should have little or no problem removing the bark off this. Oh yeah. So when this dries out, I'm going to have some good fire lighting tinder right there. So I'm going to get me a haul of that. Whilst I can. I'm going to carry on this, and then I'm going to start heading back. I'm going to have a brew. Get cleaned up, because it is quite mouldy and messy and slimy out here today, but I'll call it at that for now. So once again, thank you all very much for coming along with me on this little outing. It's been more of a workout for me than a bushcraft episode, you might say, and much needed. So thank you all very much for your continued support, kind views and comments as always, and until next time, which won't be long, Mad Dog signing off. Yeah. Well, I guess if it ain't raining, we ain't training. Beautiful. Well, made it back to base. This is the log cabin me and Mrs. Mad Dog are staying at. Just bring you around the porch here. As you can see, just down the garden we've got a hot tub, and there's a bit of a veranda there for us to sit under. I'm not going to pan you around to the front because Mrs. Mad Dog's lounging in the sofa. She won't appreciate that. But that's our garden. Looking out over to the hills and the woods. Beautiful. Just kicking back here for 4 or 5 days. Bit of R&R. Bit of playtime in the woods. Happy days. Yeah.